So over the past few days, we have seen strength coming back in the energy sector, the oil and gas sector, especially with the OPEC coming out with an agreement to cut the oil production by about 2 million barrels a day. So they kind of like lead to a rise in oil prices, and some of the energy stocks have also started to push up, right? So in this video, I'll be sharing with you four Singapore energy oil and gas stocks that you can probably still put in your watch list, because they are still looking quite good in terms of the trend. They might have a deep down a little bit in the short term, but they have approached what we call certain good support levels where there might still be some strength coming back. Alright, so we'll dive into oil prices to take a look at what it says right now, to see what are some of the levels that we can take note on the oil prices, and then we dive into these 4 Singapore stocks that you can put in your watch list for potentially more upside. Let's go. So here is crude oil prices trading at about 88.65. You can see that over the past 1 week, we have traded to a low of back to that $75. So 75, 76 was a little bit of a support. You can see right over here, that's where we kind of like headed down and started to see a bit of rebound. It was like the resistance, a bit of resistance here as well last year, and this resistance has now turned to what we call a support, whereby we have kind of like approached and staged what we call a good rebound, right? So we've kind of like approached this level, rebounded from 75, and the things managed to get back above that 85 level as well. So that's a good thing. We get back the 85 level. That's where potentially we can see some upside coming back as well in the short term, all the way towards that $95. I think 95 would be a key level. That was where we were holding all the while since like the beginning of the year, from February all the way to until July, and then we broke the $95 as the market started to sell off. And I think that level will be a very, very key resistance level all the way up to that upside of 95. I think we can break the 95. I think that's where we can see potentially more strength in oil price all the way above 95 to 110, 120. That could potentially play out, and that's where we might see more strength coming back in the energy sector as well, right? So let's dive into the 4 Singapore energy, the oil and gas stocks that I'll share with you, and I hope you like these stocks. So the first stock I'll share with you would be this company called KEPPEL Corp, right? KEPPEL Corp, one of those really strong uptrending stocks that we have pushed up since the beginning of the year, right? Here we started to see prices just breaking the 550, 560 level, and the uptrend really started, and it went from like 550 all the way to about 750, about $2, and that's where we started to see profit taking over the past few weeks as well. But the trend, all right, in the longer term still looks quite intact, right? Why do I say that? Look at this right here. This is the 100 days moving average. The red line is still pretty much sloping upwards, all right? The blue line is the 200 days moving average. So prices have kind of like, approached these two levels and rebounded from it a few times, all right? And both of these lines are still pretty much pointing up, red above the blue. That's a good sign of the trend still pointing up in the longer term. All right, of course, in the short term, we did kind of like hit a high, or what we call target, about 750, and the market started to weaken, and we saw some selling and some profit taking happening again. We broke this like 710. So 710 would be what we call a little bit of a resistance level. We kind of broke down here and we sold off, but we are back to this $6.70. So $6.70 will be what we call a little bit of a support. You can see it was where we were trading below. It was resistance. We broke up and we neared it, and now we have kind of like staged a rebound from it, from 670 all the way up to that $7.10 level. So I think right now, the fact that we have rebounded from this 670 shows that buyers are pretty much coming back, right? This longer term uptrend can still start to continue to play out as we consolidate maybe from 670 to about 710, about 30 to 40 cents range up here. All right, I think eventually if we were to break this $7.10, yeah, that is pretty much back to the recent high of that $7.50. And you can see right here, if you can break that $7.10, this is where the 20 days moving average line is as well. Look at this right here. This is the 20 days moving average. It's still like pointing down right now, but if we can break the 710, I think this green line will pretty much start to flatten and start to point up. And of course, with prices going back above the green line, right, that's where we can potentially see strength, pointing to the upwards direction as well. Another factor pointing to the upside direction as well, right? And look at this right here. When this green line started to point up with prices above it, we started to see that rally, right, from all the way from like 650, 660 all the way to 750, or all the way up right here when the green line was pointing up, so we kind of like broke down when the market sold off, but now we're at this point again right here, whereby potentially we can break the 710, whereby more upside can happen. All right, so this is KEPPEL Corp. Maybe let's take a look at what it says on my 1GT system. So I have a system called 1GT, one good trend, whereby we have a couple of entry and even exit signals. So let's take a look at what it says, and if it could like kind of like point to a bit more upside or maybe even downside. All right, here's KEPPEL Corp on my 1GT, one good trend system that I have that kind of like alerts us to counters like this and also guides us on entry and exit. So KEPPEL Corp is one of those really strong up trading stocks since the beginning of the year. As I mentioned, we had a little sell down here. The trend bar was red, but then somewhere in January started to turn green in color. We had a few bullish signal coming up right here from $5 and started to push up. This is a green arrow up. It's a bullish entry signal. Started to see that rally all the way up, got an exit, another new bullish entry, went up. Right, so started to push up all the way when we got a couple of good bullish signal, and then we got a red bearish signal, sold off a little bit, and then new bullish signal came in July as well as we traded back from 640. Another exit, and then went all the way up to 750, and we sold off with a recent bearish signal as it sold off, right? So right now you can see that this is where we are right now, the most recently on the 4th of October, right? 4th of October, which would be just on Tuesday, right? Just about 3 days back on Tuesday, we got this new green arrow pointing up. That's what we call a bullish entry signal, same like what we saw over here as well. All right, so yeah, right now we have this new bullish entry signal coming back right now. So as I say, we are still pretty much consolidating below the $7.10 mark, but we can break that level. I think this bullish signal can start to play out as we kind of like push higher all the way to retest that recent high of maybe $7.50. Of course, if 750 were to break as well, we might potentially go to $8, and that's where this bullish signal can continue to play out. And of course, this trend bar is still pretty much green color. As I mentioned just now, the trends do look quite good in the longer term. The 100 days moving average is all pointing up. It's above the 200 days moving average, the blue line which I talked about just now, which shows that the longer term trend is still intact. So yeah, it could be a good thing, it could be a good move, all right, especially on a firm move above 710. I think that's where more momentum can come back in the upwards direction. So guys, if you like this video, I would appreciate if you can give me a thumbs up. It would definitely help out the channel, and thank you so much for doing this, right? So let's move on to the second Singapore stock I share with you that is in the energy, the oil and gas sector, and the next stock would be SEMBCORP Marine right here. So this is SEMBCORP Marine. Just a few days back, we actually had a couple of targets that were drawn when it approached what we call the 10 cents. So 10 cents was a really good support level. You can see that's where we kind of like touched about like 1, 2, 3 times, and we neared it again right here. That's where the upside targets that were drawn all the way to the 12 cents. So 12 cents, what we call like a resistance level. It came down, we touched, it came down, it came down. So a couple of touches there, about 3 to 4 times, and it sold off. So that's where our upside targets were there, all right, about 18% upside. So this is about 3 days back. So let's take a look at where we are right now for SEMBCORP Marine. So a few days have passed, right, and it seems like we have already traded higher back to our target. They have just drawn a few days back, and we have actually touched this 12 cents level. So today is the 7th of October. Let me just show you what I mean. So 7th of October, Friday, is like 4:06 p.m. You can see that we can like touch a high of about 0.120, the 12 cents level that I talked about just a few days back. There was some target drawn, you can see right here, and we have touched a level, and selling is starting to come back, which is normal. So what I'll do right now is I want to take some profit as well. As I say, we managed to see a couple of touches here, 1, 2, 3, all right, 4, and then now we are near here again. So I would say that right now I think it's good to lock in some profits as well, because we are back to that resistance level whereby selling or some profit taking can come back. So I think it'll be near this back. For example, let me just draw it for you. So you can see this is the range right now, 1, 2, as swing up, swing down, swing up, swing down. All right, this is the range right here as we consolidate, right? It might consolidate here from 10 cents to 12 cents. So it's like a 2 cents range, about 18% upside in this range. I think if you're to near that 10 cents or 105 or anything below that 11 cents, that's where you can potentially start to think about getting in again. But I think the key here is this, right? So far, over the past, I would say 4 to 5 months, we have not been able to break this 12 cents level. So this 12 cents level, there's a lot of selling right there. That's where we can actually see selling. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. But if we can break this level, we can break that 12 cents level. I think if that happens, that's where we can actually revise our targets higher for it to retest the previous high right here in kind of like April, right? Come touch the level and came down to 13 cents. Of course, if 13 cents to break as well, we might go to like 14 to 15 cents. That could potentially be the upside, right? So this is SEMBCORP Marine, one of those stocks that we like as well, all right? It's pretty much consolidating sideways in the short term, but the longer term looks good, all right? It's pretty much looking good, just as it moves sideways 4 to 5 months. But as I say, if we can break that 12 cents, I think that would be a very good sign of buyers ready to take it higher to the next phase up. All right, that's what we're looking at as well. But right now, we are back to the persistence whereby profit taking is actually happening, which is, as I say, normal. All right, let's move on to the third Singapore stock I'll share with you in this energy sector, and that would be Golden Energy, right? One of those stocks that I've covered a few times in some of my videos on my Facebook Live as well. You can see that we are pretty much back to some sideways consolidation in the short term, right? Why do I say that? Look at this right here. This is the green line. So this is the green line, the 20 days moving average. You can see when we broke that 5.5, that 60 cents level, the upside really started with the green line pointing up, prices above as it went up all the way. It broke that 70 cents as well. So 70 cents would be a really key level. Why? Look at this. This was the kind of like the support level we broke down and we sold off, and you can see when we kind of like hit it up, we kind of like tempted to break the level, and yes, we did break the level. So this 70 cents would now be what we call that support level that we have kind of like broken down somewhere in June, right? So this 70 cents would be a support level all the way up to that 85 cents. But what I'm saying over the past 1 week plus is that not even 70 cents. I would say that, you know, the support have kind of like been raised to a little bit higher, to about maybe that 0.75. I think seems like somewhere around 75, 76, 77. You know, people are starting to come back to like bargain hunt already, not even that 70 cents. So there's a sign of strength as well, whereby, you know, the low gets a little bit higher, right? It doesn't go back down to that previous 70 cents low. It just goes to somewhere near 75, and people are like starting to get in and jump in to start buying again, right? So that's a sign of strength, right? But the key here is this, right? This 85 cents, 0.85 over the past 1-2 weeks plus, it seems like we are kind of like nearing this level, all right? And we are not able kind of like to break this level right here. Couple of targets. You can say today, I think the high was about 0.85 as well, and that's where some selling pressure came back and kind of like sold off. So we might actually consolidate. I think this is the range right now from that 75 to 85, but it's consolidated. But I'm looking for this really good bullish move above that 85 cents. If we do see that, that's where targets can be revised higher. So what could be targets? Let me just draw it for you. I think above 85 cents, we might potentially see the next upside phase towards the $1 range right here. I think that could be a psychological level to watch as well. All right, why $1? I mean, that's what we could do to project as well. We can, as I say, this was the range right here, right, from that 70 cents to the 85, so about 15 cents range, and that's where you can potentially shift it up here to project to the next upside targets, right? So this is Golden Energy, one of those stocks that I like, really strong, consolidating sideways. The longer term looks good as well, but I think we'll watch that 85 cents. I think we do see some good move. I think more upside momentum can come in quite fast, right? So let's take a look at maybe what it says on my 1GT system to see if we have any bullish signals coming out over the past few days. All right, Golden Energy on my 1GT, one good trend system right here since like, you know, March, February, really good uptrend. You can see a couple of good bullish signal when they went from like 30 cents, 35 all the way up to like what 75, and then we got this bearish signal. As I mentioned, this is the red signal, the bearish signal that came in when we broke that 70 cents key support level somewhere in June, and the market started to sell off. So we got this bearish signal. It's sold off all the way from like 75 all the way down, got an exit, and then started to consolidate, and that's where new bullish entry signals started to come back up right here. So a couple of consolidation you can see right here, and then this is the most recent one. I think when we broke that 55 cents, we got a new bullish signal, 24th of August, started to push up, exit, and this is where we are right now. So as we're talking right now, you can see that just recently, I think on the 23rd of September, about 2 weeks back, we got this new bullish entry signal, right? It's consolidated. So as I said, this bullish entry signal is still pretty much in play, all right? Still pretty much in play as we consolidate from that 75 to 85. But as I say, if we break that 85 cents, if we break that 85 cents, we break above that level, we go above it, we stay above it on pretty good volume as well, I think this bullish signal that is still here, all right, there's still no exits here. I think this bullish signal can still continue to play out, and that's where it might lead the move all the way to like $1 or even higher, all right? And then we'll wait to see if there are any exits which can guide us to lock in some profits or take some profit as well. All right, so this is Golden Energy on my 1GT system. We got a recent bullish entry signal. There are no exits, so let's see how it plays out in the next few weeks. So let's move on to the fourth and the final stock, right, in the Singapore oil and gas and energy sector right now. So this stock would be Geo Energy Resource. I would say that it's one of the maybe not as strong as the other three that I talked about just now, but I still want to cover it because a lot of people have been asking me about Geo Energy as well. It seems like we have found some support, but I'm still waiting personally for more confirmation or for more signal, better signal of the upside reversal actually happening, right? Because it seems like we're not really going anywhere right now. So let's just dive into the chart as I explain to you why it's still on my watch list. It's not the most bullish like the rest, but I still want to put it in my watch list because if we do see some good bullish signal coming back, and then we might start to ride it. But right now, it's just pretty much moving sideways. So here is Golden Energy, all right, trading at about 0.385. So I think I talked about it many times in my video as well. We are back to this very, very critical support level. And this level is none other than the 0.35, that 35 cents level. So let's just go back to like the beginning of the year right here. 35 cents was actually a really strong resistance level. We traded below, and when we broke that 35 cents, you can see started to consolidate a little bit, push all the way up to that 60 cents resistance level, and we saw profit taking. So this 35 cents was a really firm resistance. Of course, resistance at 60 cents right here. We touched another time right here, 60 cents came down. So 60 cents would be a resistance level, and that's why I draw this red line right here. But let's go back to that 35 cents. So 35 cents is a really strong resistance level that led the rally since the beginning of the year 2022. All right, and then we sold off. The market started to sell off. Of course, we have the other energy stocks selling off as well. We broke certain support like this 45 cents. It came down. Let me just draw it for you. You can see we broke this 45 cents. We sold off, and then we came back to this 35 cents, right? Why 35? Because as I said, this 35 cents was a really strong resistance. It's now turned to be what we call a support. So it's consolidated here a little bit, move up, came back down, rebounded from 35, came back down a little bit, and over the past 1 week, I think we touched that 35 cents again, and we started to see a bit of a rebound here again. So a couple of touches, about say 3 to 4 times, we have touched this 35 cents resistance, turn support, and this 35 cents still hold as a support. So right now, I think that we might just consolidate back in this range, right? 35 cents to that 45 cents. So 45 cents, as I say right now, it was that support level we broke down, and you can see we hit it here as well. It was a resistance level, and then we came back down. So this is the range right now. It's a very, very simple range. 35 cents to 45 cents is like a 10 cents range, right? 10 cents range, nothing complicated. So we might just consolidate up and down here. And of course, if we do hit back to 35 again, if we hold above 35, I think that's where some bargain hunting or some buying pressure might come back. But the key here is that we really want to get back above. All right, as I say, we will be a bit more bullish, right? In terms, in terms of more upside coming back fast, if we can break this 45 cents level. All right, we can break this 45 cent level right here, kind of like pushing above the high of what we have seen since like May. Over the past 4 to 5 months, we can break the 4 to 5 months high. That's a sign of strength. It shows that buyers are prepared and ready to take it up to a higher consolidation phase, and that's what we would be looking at. If not, then we are pretty much back in this 10 cents range that I talked about. So today is like 0.39, so probably wouldn't want to buy here because you can see 0.39 or 40 cents is like in the middle of nowhere. In the middle of the range is like 45 to 35. You're just right in the center, so it's like either going up or going down. Probably not. I probably want to buy near the support level. If you're indeed thinking to buy, I think it's good to buy near the support level 35, 35.5, 36. It's near there. That would be a better upside reward if you actually enter at those levels than just entering in the middle of nowhere. Does it make sense? All right, so that is Geo Energy, one of those stocks that is still in my watch list. I'm looking at it right now as it consolidates, but hopefully we do see that good bullish move above 45 cents that can lead the reversal much faster. That's where we want to look at this company much more seriously. All right, so this is Geo Energy Resource, the fourth Singapore stocks that's in the energy sector that I shared with you, and I hope you like this stock as well. All right, guys, so these are the 4 Singapore stocks that are in the energy, the oil and gas sector that I shared with you, and I hope you like this video and have found some pointers on what to do for any of them if you're looking to buy, looking to get in, or maybe you're holding on to it and looking to get out as well, right? So I hope you like this video. So if you want to find out a little bit more on the entire framework, the One Good Trend, the 1GT framework, even the system that I talked to you guys about, you can attend one of those free web class or like a webinar that we're still running right now. Click the link around this video, just below this video. Click on the link, attend one of those free web class to find out a little bit more on how you can have access to this system as well, and what it means, the whole framework or kind of like strategy behind the system. So you can attend one of those free class to find out more, and I'm sure that it will help you as well, just like how it has helped us, right? So Joey here, thank you so much for watching. Click on the link below. I look forward to see you in one of these web classes where I can share with you in detail, all right, on the entire 1GT strategy. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.